80% of older Americans can't afford to retire. That is one staggering number for sure. Shocking headline, isn't it? Maybe you haven't heard it before. Don't panic. It will be okay. More than 25 million older Americans are financially insecure, living at or below the federal poverty level. Yet living in the richest country in the world, that is why all the immigrants risk everything to come here to live. So what is wrong? You know you're in trouble when you're living on credit cards. And that's what a lot of the older people have to do to get by, to pay for food and medicine and doctor bills. If Joe Biden would keep his promise about giving all Social Security and disability recipients $200 more a month, that sure would help. But we can't rely on the government to take care of us. They don't keep their promises. We know that. You know, there is a retirement crisis here in America. What are you going to be eating? That doesn't look very good. Well, maybe Mighty Dog beef, dog food. Oh boy. People simply do not have enough money to purchase their needs when they retire. Here's a headline. At 75, I still have to work. Millions of Americans can't afford to retire. Number of U.S. workers aged 75 and up expected to increase 96.5% over the next decade, as some say we must work until we die. Help wanted. Now hiring. We are seeing these signs everywhere. The expense of living is increasing along with inflation, but earnings don't appear to be able to keep up. As a result, according to research data from 2022, 80% of Americans are changing their lifestyles to account for daily price increases. Doing without. Here are 6 signs you can't afford your lifestyle. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You're not alone. If you have little to no money left over after paying your bills, according to a 2022 Lending Club study, 64% of American citizens are living paycheck to paycheck. This issue affects everyone, not just those with modest incomes. According to the same survey, 49% of persons who make $100,000 annually report living paycheck to paycheck. You might not be able to maintain a lifestyle if you are unable to put any money aside for savings or retirement. It is not how much you make, it is how much you spend. You can't afford an emergency expense. Let's say your transmission goes out in your vehicle and you need $3,000. Or your water heater goes out and you need $1,800. You need an emergency fund. One side effect, though, of living paycheck to paycheck is that it's difficult to build an emergency fund. Only 39% of Americans can afford to comfortably cover a $1,000 emergency expense, according to a 2022 Bankrate survey. Unfortunately, many people don't realize this is a problem for them until an emergency occurs. Your credit card debt is increasing. Due to unforeseen circumstances, major expenses like medical costs, appliance repairs occasionally require the use of credit. The issue is that you don't pay off your credit cards. You charge something up and you just make the minimum payment. But the interest will start to accrue and your debt will I shouldn't say slowly, it's going to grow swiftly, especially with inflation out of check. As inflation continues to go up, we have seen credit card debt surge as a way to keep up with higher costs. People are just whipping out their credit card, getting another credit card, and spending to keep paying their bills. But if you can't seem to keep up with your credit card payments, you may need to see what expenses you can do without. Maybe you don't need that extra cup of coffee or that latte or that steak burger. Please give me a like. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And please hit the bell icon so you will know when I release a new video. Your income decreases, but your spending doesn't. This happened to the wife and I. We were both working. We were both suddenly unemployed the same week. If your income reduces as a result of a job loss, having an emergency fund can help you cover your bills. But if your spending seems to keep outpacing your income, your savings won't last over the long term. That's what happened to wife and I. Now, if you're on Social Security and had part-time jobs to subsidize your income, then you were suddenly let go, what would you do? You have the same bills, but you only have half the income. What would you do? Frightening circumstances for sure. This is just food for thought. You're hiding your spending habits. Oh, I know people that do this all the time. If you find yourself hiding your purchases from a loved one or significant other, ask yourself why. Could it be a sign you feel guilty about spending more than you can afford? Here's a little story. This one couple had a combined yearly income of $175,000. They had a reasonable mortgage, typical car payments, and $5,000 in credit card debt that they reported to each other. But something was off with the numbers. They could not make their payments. Oh dear. It says here, in this example, I have a hidden credit card with a $40,000 bill. The husband claimed. His wife said, oh, I too have a credit card that I've kept from you, and it has a $35,000 on it. Wow, I'd say they both probably began to cry. All of this is an extreme case. It demonstrates how much simpler it is to conceal your expenditures than bringing it to light in front of your partner or spouse. You can't keep up with multiple lifestyle debts. Is your home or your car bigger or more luxurious than you need? Spending too much in these areas is a telltale sign you can't afford your lifestyle. Home and car payments shouldn't make up over 50% of a person's income. This is a general rule, but the lower the monthly percentage of your income that goes towards home and auto, the better you are financially. You'll be able to save more. So how much do you really need to retire? Retirement experts have offered various rules of thumb about how much you need to save. Somewhere near $1 million, 80% to 90% of your annual pre-retirement income, 12 times your pre-retirement salary. But what's right for you? And how do you know you're on track? You've got to go sit down, create a budget as to what you think you need to retire on. Maybe you won't be able to retire. Maybe you're going to have to continue working or start a new job, or maybe start an online business so that you can retire. Because there are so many variables, even the retirement researchers can't agree on a total dollar amount. Everybody has different needs, different wants, that's for sure. But anyway, retirement for you is what I call uncharted waters, because you have never been there before. So just like on the CBS show Big Brother, expect the unexpected. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.